What's up, Panther fans? You know this is Panthers Roar 89. Man, what a long off season it has been, but we are just less than a week away right now from the beginning of actual football. And I'm not talking about that preseason shit we just had to watch for 4 weeks. But we did go 3-1 in the preseason. We lost the fourth game to the Steelers, which is the least important game. I think we'd all agree on that. So I think it's a positive sign. Obviously, you can't put too much in the preseason because I believe the Detroit Lions and Cleveland Browns went 4-0 in the preseason when they had their winless seasons. So it doesn't really matter. You just don't want to go 0-4. That's the key. So we got the Cowboys coming up week 1. Going into this year, I feel really good. I think last year our biggest hole was wide receiver, right? I think we'd all agree with that. We had some just absolute garbage going out at the wide receiver position. We got rid of that bum Kelvin Benjamin. You know, he wants to blame everybody else except his own damn self. You know, I don't think it's Cam's fault that you were 40 pounds overweight going into the season. You know, I don't think that was Cam's fault. You know, I think that might have something to do with yourself. Now, we got Funches. I think he's going to have a nice big breakout year. He's the undisputed number one receiver going into the year. I think he's a guy that could have well over 1,000 yards receiving. Also, maybe a 10 touchdown year. I think he could have a big breakout year. And then we went and addressed the wide receiver position in getting DJ Moore. Great pick. I think he's going to be an absolute baller. Now, Steve Smith says he absolutely loves him. So if he's got that dog in him like Steve did or does, he will be great. So you got those two guys. We also picked up Torrey Smith. I mean, that's a whatever pickup. You know, it could be good having that veteran in there. Maybe a similar role to Jericho Cotchery when we went to the Super Bowl. I could see something like that. Cornerback position. You know, we drafted some people. We got Bradbury holding it down there. We traded Worley. I don't know. I kind of like Darryl Worley, so that was a questionable trade. But he got domestic violence charge like a week later. So made a good trade, right? I think that's what it was. So going into week 1 here, we got the Cowgirls. I keep hearing things, and I understand it's just the cowboy facade, I guess. I don't know what you call it. People are still living in the 90s. The Cowboys are not good. They're not. Dak Prescott is not good. He had a good rookie year, horrible second year. And watching that guy play, I don't see it. I don't. And just for him to get an endorsement deal, our quarterback had to say some sexist shit. So I really don't. I don't see it in Dak Prescott. I don't. And now they got no receivers. They got no Dez Bryant, no Jason Witten. Who's their number 1? Is it Cole Beasley? I mean, that's probably the only receiver you can name on there. Now, they got Ezekiel Elliott. He's a monster. No question about it. That's going to be the key to this game right there is we got to stop Ezekiel Elliott. If we do not stop him, it could be, he could go off and, give us a run for our money, right? That's a fact, right? So we do have a dominant front seven once again. We lost Starlo Tulele, which is a big loss, right? I think we'd all agree on that. But he's had some injury problems, so and he got a ton of money from Buffalo. I wouldn't have matched that deal. But we bring in Poe, so we should be okay there. Another big, gap filler. Yeah, I mean I think our front seven will be honestly just as good as it was last year. This year we got Peppers coming back. He's like 90 years old, still balling. Luke's going to do what he does. Thomas Davis out for the first 4 games. But I think this is going to be Shaq Thompson's coming out party. He looks good. I'd say overall we're looking pretty good. Going into this season, I mean, our schedule is not too bad. We got Atlanta week 2, Cincinnati week 3, but then we get a bye week in week 4, and that's, you don't want your bye week there. It's kind of pointless. I really wish the NFL wouldn't have bye weeks in week 4. It's like you're just getting started. Why do a bye week right here? You know, I don't like the bye week in week 4. Then we come back. We got the Giants week 5. And then we got Washington week 6. So your first 5 games, I think, are all very winnable. Obviously, the toughest game is Atlanta. That's going to be the toughest game, right? Out of all those opponents, and you're playing in Atlanta. And anytime it's a division rival, there's a good chance you're going to split those games, probably win one at home, one on the road, right? So I think we can count Dallas as a win, right? At home, I don't think Dallas is that great. I think they're probably a 5 or 6 win team. Atlanta, again, it's a division rival. I'd say we probably split with them. We win at home, they win at home. So we'll say it's a loss. We go 1-1. And then you're playing home, Cincinnati. That should be a W. Cincinnati is trash. And then you got your bye. Week 5, got the Giants. That should be a W. I don't think the Giants are anything to worry about. Eli Manning is absolutely trash. Then you're at Washington, right? Washington, I think Alex Smith is a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. So I think they did upgrade that position a little bit. But they still have a lot of holes there. A lot of holes. So if you got a ton of holes and you're only solid quarterback, only position solid as quarterback, you may be a 6-win team, right? So I think that's another W. Here we go. We're starting out the season, 4-1 here. That's not a bad way to start out the season. I think, honestly, the NFL gave us a pretty favorable schedule starting out. And then you have Philly, week 7. That is in Philadelphia. That could be a very tough game if Carson Wentz is back and he's rolling. We could say we lose that game. Okay, now we're 4-2, right? And then you play Baltimore at home. That should be a W. Baltimore looks like a mess. Okay, now you're 5-2, right? And then you play Tampa Bay at home. Tampa Bay is going to be garbage again, 6-2. Now you're at Pittsburgh. That's a tough game, playing at Pittsburgh. That's tough, right? So let's say we lose this, right? So now we're, 6-3, right? So 6-3 at that point. And then you go at Detroit. We own Detroit. We make them our bitch every time. So now we're 7-3. Now you got Seattle at home. I don't think Seattle's going to be that good. Now you're 8-3. You play Tampa Bay. Hopefully we sweep Tampa Bay. They're garbage. That's 9-3. Cleveland, you get the fuck out of here. We'll win that game. That's 9-3, right? And then you got to play New Orleans at home. Say you split those with New Orleans. So now you're 10-3. Get Atlanta at home at the end of the season, 11-3. And then maybe you say you lose week 17 to the Saints, and you finish, what would that be? We would finish 12-4 for the year, I believe is what I just counted out. Maybe a little off on that. But I think a 12-4, 11-5 season for our schedule is very, very realistic. I may have missed some games there. But I would say that's a very realistic point of view. Win the division. I think 11-5, 12-4 wins the division. But it's going to be a dogfight between us, New Orleans, and Atlanta. No question about it. You got to make sure you split those games at least. If you can get a sweep, that's huge. But going into this game against Dallas, I think we win this game probably 28-17. I think we handle them pretty well. So I feel good going into this game, as usual. So I think we're all set, and I think it's going to be a fun year. I think we did a really good job of upgrading the team, and I think Cam's going to have a monster year. I don't know if you guys checking his IG out, but man, that dude works hard. He's working 5 a.m. on a treadmill. So I'm excited for this year. Hope everybody else is too. Feels like Christmas time. We're about 6 days away, so it feels great. It's that time of year again. So I think that's about all for this video. So thanks for watching, and go Panthers.